Hello, everyone. Welcome to the golden age of UC3P. Can we start? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the golden age of UC3P. This season, we're doing things a little differently. UC3P has a new team, a few familiar faces, and a whole lot of energy for what's next. Today, we are bringing together the co-presidents, our marketing lead, and our brand new board members to talk about the journey so far and where we are headed. So, before we get started and jump right into the things of it, Lutfi, Abby, and Ben, welcome. I hope you're having a good time. And before we go into more details, could you give me a general introduction of who you are and what your role in you?
Hi, Madam Host. My name is Lutfi Hakim Ariff. I am the co-lead for UC3P. Currently second year in Harris MPP. I'm excited with this new age of resurgence in podcasting.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for that, Lutfi. Hello, Gayatri. Thank you for introducing me. My name is Benjamin Huynh. I am the co-publisher for UC3P. In terms of strategic aims, I hope to sort of clear up the notion that we are a Pakistani interest club.
No shade.
No shade. No.
We're
We're
very
all about-
inclusive here.
Yeah, we're all about conveying information, accurate information. In terms of favorite memories, I hope to make them soon. So.
Yeah, very relatable. Hi everyone, my name is Abi. I come from Indonesia and I'm also like second year MPP. And for the next few months, I'm gonna be responsible for the marketing strategies of the UC3P. So please bear with me for the rest of the 2 quarters left. And I think very similar to Ben, I'm really looking forward to make great memories with all of you. Thank you.
I guess before our time on the mics are snatched back by this infusion of fresh blood, these piranhas, just to kind of like talk a little bit more about UC3P and what we hope we can achieve this year, not just for us, not just for the organization, but also the student body at large. We're very happy to work with people. We'd like more people to be able to build up the skills that they need, not just to make podcasts, not just to promote podcasts, but also how do you communicate your ideas? How do you communicate policy? Or it doesn't have to be policy. We're not all boring people, I know. It can be pop culture. It can be histories. These are the things that surely the people are interested in Harris, I hope.
No, 100%.
Yeah, and I guess we'll also make the acknowledgement that with the recent change in administration that happened last year, lots of things have transpired. Some of them not the most optimal for policy students like us. However, that being said, I do believe that we, as in the old administration and our new members, we hope to sort of foster an environment where our voices are free to be like heard and spoken.
I think I wouldn't add a lot from what my colleague Lutfi and Ben have said, but yeah, I hope that not only that we can create more, but we can also like inspire other people to also like speak out their minds to whatever their interests are. And yeah, I think nothing has ever been more important than speaking your minds out, and in this time. So like, yeah. Okay.
Yes, I completely agree. Right now, speaking and talking about whatever everyone's going through is the way to spread more awareness about whatever challenges everyone is facing.
Yeah, creating public goods more accessible.
Thank you so much for that, Ben, Lutfi, and Abby. Now, as you must have already heard from Ben, my name is Gayatri. I've been your host for now. And we'll be interacting with the new board members. So could you all just say hi real quickly?
Hi.
Sup?
Hey.
Yes, so we're the new board members of the UC3B team. And before we get into our policy ideas and what we do, could you give me a quick round of introductions and your program and what you're looking forward to as now you're a part of UC3B?
All right. Que bola, mi gente. Look at that. As you can tell, I'm not from Pakistan. Hey, everyone. My name's Alec Pisoso. I'm a first-year MPP student, former recent graduate of the college, so the undergrad side of things here at U Chicago. I'm from Miami, Cuban, and I am the treasurer of UC3P, managing coffers that are bigger than my bank account right now. We are in trying times in this economy, but not in this org. What drew me to UC3P, I have always been a big podcaster, originally wrestling podcasts, but obviously more recently in the political space and in legal spaces, and recognizing particularly the opportunity for progressive voices to use podcasting to reach out to the new generation, Gen Z and Gen Alpha. I feel like it's untapped potential, but people are finally starting to come to their senses and get on the mic. So use your voice, literally.
All right, that was beautiful. I'm Zahir.
Thank you.
I'm a first-year MPP as well. I'm from the General Illinois area, and I will be your lead editor. So if these things are delayed, it's my fault. I'm sorry about that. What I'm really excited about is just being able to help people like express their ideas. And oh, fun fact, I am Pakistani, so this is a Pakistani culture club now.
Finally sticking true to the name.
Yeah, so y'all better watch out, because my culture is not a costume. All right.
I guess I bring the diversity here because I'm not from Pakistan.
Bring it back.
I'm Chinese. Hi, everyone. I'm Eunice, and I am not a podcast listener. So, but my sister, she has a podcast, and I don't really listen to her podcast.
Oh, that's very interesting.
But I'm sending her my podcast so she can listen to my podcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you should.
Tell her who's boss.
I grew up in China, but I moved here to Indiana when I was a young age, and I'm pretty familiar with the Chicago community here. One thing I guess that really brought me here is I just wanted a safe space to talk about policies that matters to me. And I know that like policies, it just doesn't live in paper, it lives in the daily communications with other people and engagement. So I think that's what we really need is, especially living this time and age right now, we really need to get it together and talk about and bring all these different views and perspectives. So I think it's just going to be really interesting, all the series to come. So yeah, be on the lookout.
Yeah, really well put, Eunice.
If you didn't hear, we were all snapping in support.
Yes, the vibes here are really encouraging.
We gotta put name to faces pretty soon here.
Yeah, what's your name?
What's my name? Yes. So, hi everyone, I'm Gayatri and I'm from India and I'll be your lead producer during this season. What drew me to UC3P was it's one of the few spaces on campus where policy conversations actually feel alive. They're very human in the sense that you actually get to see people's perspectives on things that are very pressing. And it comes across in a way which is very relatable. Like, it's not something that I'm just hearing on a press briefing or something that politicians are saying in very complicated technical terms. It's something that people like you and me are discussing, right? And I really, really like that concept. And I love listening to podcasts, so that's different from you, Eunice. But yeah, so when I had the ability to be a part of this team, I just jumped at the opportunity. And that's how I'm here. So it was really nice meeting all of you. But now, what visions do you have for UC3P?
You want to go?
No, you.
Okay. Cool. So, well, I'm really excited to bring a more human aspect and some fun to UCP3. Because what's the point of listening to something if you're not going to enjoy yourself? Like, as you can already tell, we got some really fun, creative people here. So we're hoping to pump out some good content. And, like, even when it is, like, more on the educational side, I think I want to add, like, a human aspect to it. Because real stories, real people, real experiences, what people connect to. If it's just, like, spreadsheets or any of that boring stuff, like, you don't really... pay attention or you zone out. I want people to listen and enjoy and learn.
I mean, I've, well, at least with my experience of understanding with listening to podcasts, sometimes I feel like they can get a little emotionally charged. And yes, it's great. That's a great thing. I mean, it keeps me watching for an hour, 2 hours. And unfortunately, yes, 3+ hours. My phone does lose its battery a good amount of the way. But I'm a person who comes with receipts. I'm a guy who comes with stats, the letter of the law. I'm going to tell it to you straight, calling a spade a spade. Us Cubans, like, we don't mince our words. We're not people that, beat around the bush, very direct to the point. And I feel like, especially in the policy space, people like to, sugarcoat things or make sure, like, all the possible externalities are covered. And I'm like, no. This is a podcast, not a dissertation. Get to the point, and that's what I'm here for. To put a little bit of that spice into it as well. So
That's amazing. What about you, Eunice?
Well, I think that, we touched on a little bit on diversity, so I think that it's good if our conversation is not just limited to the people in the room. So I really want to open up the floor to other people in our school and our communities and bring in those guest speakers, because I think there's a lot of values from what we can learn from all those around us.
Exactly. I resonate that so much. My vision for UC3P is also similar. I want it to be as collaborative as possible. I want to work with other people in Harris, other organizations, other clubs. I hope that this can become a space where everyone can come and talk about their ideas and talk about issues that, are really bothering them.
Yeah.
And they can say it in a way that everybody in the different campuses of UChicago can understand and sort of debate about it and become more aware about it. So I think it's a good team for that.
So, I know everyone's been a little bit giddy about, like, lead up to this. Like, I've talked to all of you, and you all been really excited. And, like, during, like, our initial meetings, everyone was, like, spitballing all their great ideas. And I'm really excited to see what comes of them, because there's some that are, like, really, really good. Like, I don't want to overhype them, but they got some potential, and we got some really creative people here, so I'm excited to see what they come up with.
One thing especially, I bring it on top of that too. I've been at this university now. This is my 5th year, undergrad, 4 years here. And I remember when I first got in here, the concept of, like, intersectionality and interdisciplinary arguments was kind of foreign. A little bit. People were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get my job. I'm gonna, move on in life," without necessarily needing the input from someone who has a qualitative background or a quantitative background, depending on what their perspective was to begin with. But especially in the more recent months, I feel like people are truly recognizing that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So like, bringing in not only, like, the perspectives at Harris, but also, those from the arts and those from legal studies or creative writing. It gives every opportunity to express what we gratefully call here the human condition. So, yes.
The technical
I
terms.
think that's definitely a core value of our group, is make sure it's human.
Exactly.
No AI.
Put the human in humanity.
No, 100%. Especially in the first meeting, the way everyone was pitching their ideas and was so excited about everything that's going to happen. I think we have a lot of good stuff planned.
You would think it was Jeopardy with that. Show me a new series.
There's some out there that, like, are definitely very speculative. So
In the pipeline, we'll see how it works out. Very interesting. So, I know we touched upon this a little bit, but what kind of user experience or listener experience do you hope our listeners can get from listening to UC3P?
I am the type of person that loves, as you know, one-liners. Get to the point, but make it really, like, impactful. So think, like, YouTube thumbnails, or TikTok, captions. The job of those types of one-liner or phrases is to really grab your attention and, in the best case scenario, incentivize you to dig deeper. So I think after listening to us for, like, 30, 45 minutes of a podcast, our listeners are encouraged and, inspired to go to dig a little past Wikipedia, to pick up a new book, to watch a new movie that's either recommended or dropped or shows up on their recommendations because of this podcast, expanding that space of discussion that maybe one day they show up here or we get to talk about it with them.
Okay, I can go.
Hit it up, Eunice.
Well, I really like psychological thrillers. And so, not exactly like our podcast is a psychological thriller, but I just think that it'd be really good to, like, talk about these controversial topics that leave people thinking afterwards. And then keep them thinking on ways that they could do themselves, on like actions that they can take, or how in what ways they can research more about a topic. Because I think there's a lot of like misinformation in the world right now, and it
No, for
challenges us to really think about what are the facts and what are the just opinionated. So I really encourage people to just take what we said with a grain of salt, but also do a little bit of research themselves.
Yeah. For me, I think it's just the kind of stuff that'll make you get weird looks on the bus. So it's like, you're just sitting there and you just burst out into laughter and everyone's like, what kind of drugs is this guy on? So just, while of course it's important to be educational and informative, a good laugh is always what brings me coming back to anything. So that's what I want to bring to this whole organization.
No, completely. I think the mix of humor and the educational content, which makes us think deeper, would be a really great balance once we achieve it, hopefully. So for me as well, if, we can make our listeners feel for even a moment that, I never thought about this like this. I should look more into this. I think then it'll be something really meaningful that we've created, for sure.
Absolutely. I also think, just one quick add-on to the concept of laughter. I was actually listening to another podcast. I'll name drop them in a bit, but they were emphasizing the importance of laughter in the context of a space of declining free speech. As to see, like, laughing in it is inherently challenging a system that exists and implies that the space that we are discussing is open enough, broad enough, and comfortable enough to express our opinions to, like, the fullest extent possible. So I feel like, especially in these last couple months and years generally, almost like putting a smile to what we say, put a bit of the pep in the step. I think it reminds us that, like, there is power in the attitude that we carry and the work that we do here.
Yeah, and I think if we can get the listeners even a little bit as excited as we are about what's coming, it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really excited for all of this. Like, I think Gayatri can apprehend. Earlier today, I came up to her and I'm like, I'm so excited, let's do this. And like, I've been talking to Alec, or I don't know, I haven't seen Eunice as much, but I want to tell her, Eunice, I'm so excited to do this with you.
I'm so excited too.
It's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna do a great job. Give me a high five.
Yeah, let's go, bro.
Awesome.
Yes. As you can see, our excitements are really on
It's
the roof.
radiating through this phone, whatever
Yes.
device you're listening
Yeah.
to.
Yes, we hope we can get you as excited as we are in this room right now. In today's world, what do you think student voice means, especially in policy conversations?
Oh boy. Well,
Now we're getting into the deep technical
listen,
aspects of things.
we're gonna start with the stats. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the average age in the Senate is 69.
Yes.
We're cracking 70 over there. And listen, all the power to those who can serve for so long. That being said, I really hope the new generation can actually step up, and we don't have to force ourselves in there. It definitely does. Speaking to those who are older than us, it definitely does remind me of some of the stories I've heard from like my grandparents when they were young. That as life expectancy was getting longer drastically by the decades in the 50s and 60s, that the people who were in power held on to power. And not just power in the political sense, but like in the information spaces, who has the cash, who has the property, everything of that sense. I feel like we're kind of, history is rhyming right now, and I feel like we can take a couple lessons from our very past ancestors to almost like grab that mantle ourselves and do it in a way that's most fruitful for all involved, not just for us in the future, but those who have served for so long as well.
Right.
Yeah, I think youth action is very important. We've seen it all over the world in the past couple of months. We saw it in like Nepal and Indonesia, with all the One Piece flags, which is pretty cool. And like even in New York City, we saw how important youth action was, and now they got a pretty cool mayor. I'm being extremely biased here, but youth action is important because we're the ones that have to live with the consequences. So it's like, if you're going to do something, make sure you live to see the results of it. And then also, There's the idea of planting trees where you will never know the shade. Like making sure future generations have something, even if you aren't going to enjoy it, they will have something to look at and be like, oh, someone did that for me, and then build upon it.
Yeah, I think that I think just like students' voice is very important because, well, thinking from a perspective of someone who's who don't think that their voice matters and they will be very less likely to just like stand up and talk about things. I think is just for them to understand how important it is and how we can create momentum with that. Because like nowadays, it's more than important than ever to just stand up and talk about these things. I know we're uncomfortable, but it's important to let's be uncomfortable to talk about the uncomfortable things. And I think that opening up the space is very important. So I think there's values and there's power in that, and a lot of people do not recognize that. And I think it's about how can we motivate the younger people to talk about these things, people who are younger than us in the undergrads or even the high school, to talk about these things and feel safe to talk about these things.
No, yeah, I completely agree in the sense that there's so much happening in the world today, right? And students, especially their opinions and their voices, they're the ones who are suffering the most consequences because they have to live with it for the next 20 years, 30 years,
Right.
based on whatever is happening right now. So if they don't talk, they don't voice their concerns, no one's ever going to understand what the problems are, what needs to be addressed, especially if the Senate has such older people who don't really relate to the ideology of what the younger generation is going through. Let
me put a little disclaimer for legal purposes. I had the Google search. It wasn't 69, it was 65. Nonetheless, the retirement age is 65 as well. 69 was the price of my energy bill this month. So apologies for confusing the numbers.
They're so youthful. I'm so happy to hear that,
They're 65.
Yeah. It makes you know that they're really looking after the current generation and they are really hip with the kids.
Exactly, especially if they don't have a safe space where they can voice their concerns and they can see that something is happening about what they're concerned about, right? If they don't see any action being taken.
Yeah. I guess there's something to add to it. I've helped support this nonprofit organizations, and then in the Chinese community, the people who are in the older generations, they don't really come out to vote, and so we really encourage and go around door knocking to let them know that their voice matters. And we have seen a significant just increase from their demographics, people who came out to vote. And I think it was powerful because we educated them on, all these informations on the voting registration, the process, and then how they can see the outcomes. And I think that there is a culture involved in how people, would tell the younger generations to not really express themselves. And there's a stifling in their voices. So I think that it's important for them to kind of shift that mindset. And I think that we need to teach that right now.
No, 100%. That's the way we should approach it for something to happen.
And thank you for that work, by the way. I just got to slide that away.
So after that insightful conversation, which we ourselves are very impressed with how that went.
Thank you, Ben. I love you.
Because it was totally unscripted and very unfiltered, guys. Now we're going to have a fun segment with all of our board members, including our previous board members and our new team.
We're still on the board.
Yeah.
Still on the
For
board.
thinking of it.
Oh, whoosh, she's going to push you out quick.
Not yet. Okay, so what is your go-to coffee order?
So, I want to be a little sacrilegious. I only do tea.
Spoiler for a future question.
Listen, I'm gonna give you a chance here. Milk tea?
No,
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
that's
I'm
it
very
for you.
lactose intolerant. You're gonna
It's
hear.
like jasmine or an oolong or something.
Yeah. So basically, to put you on to something, as someone who's been raised on dim sum for their entire childhood, you get there's a specific tea I get. So in Mandarin it's called pour, or in Cantonese it's called bole, which means it's fermented black tea.
Ooh.
Otherworldly, I'm telling you.
That sounds really
Bote?
nice.
Bole.
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 Oh, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Lutfi, go.
All right, cool. What kind of coffee do I like? I'm gonna go with Ben with this on being,
Oh, no.
on being lactose intolerant. I
This
drink
is-
coffee, but with soy milk. So
Okay.
Okay,
like,
listen.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
accept
so-
that.
yeah.
We
So,
accept
like,
that.
give me a cortado with soy milk. I'm good.
Did you say a cortado?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm loving that. Okay.
See, I'm bringing some culture into it.
Yes.
Yeah, I love soy milk as well, but you guys really have to answer the questions. It has to be coffee. I mean, yeah. My good order would be basically anything with sugar because I couldn't have my coffee without sugar.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go, Alec?
Yeah, I
Wow.
can know. I would.
No, yeah,
Gayatri,
Gayatri needs to
Oh, you
go.
want me to go?
Yeah, you're
hosty.
like.
Hosty the mosty.
Well, I resonate with Abby. I cannot have bitter drinks. They just do not suit my palate, and then I just feel very bad about my day. So anything that is sweet, like really sweet, I will have it.
Cool.
So like maybe a mocha or a latte.
That's more like
probably.
it. Okay.
Yeah, that's real coffee right there.
No.
But I will say, not that much of a coffee drinker. But if I had to choose coffee, that is what I would drink.
So what would you drink otherwise?
Otherwise, I'm a hot chocolate person.
Oh. She don't need that caffeine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and let me ask one follow up to that. Do you drink Celsius or anything of the sort? Red Bull?
No, I'm not a drinker, actually. Not alcohol of any sort. So,
Caffeine.
yeah.
Do you drink water, girl?
Yes.
That's
But my
important. Stay
water
hydrated.
intake
Yeah.
is really less. I'm trying to improve my hydration.
I gotta support my girl there.
Yeah.
I love that.
Water's good for the skin.
Yes.
So that's important. Stay
Amen.
hydrated.
Stay hydrated, guys.
Helpful fact from the podcast, people.
Yes.
Stay hydrated.
But I am not your doctor. So. But,
I could be.
No, thanks,
No?
bro. I'll pass.
Okay, cool.
I,
I think we're going on a tangent. Eunice,
There.
why don't you go with coffee?
Coffee. I would say matcha latte, but wait, hold on. Coffee. I like the seasonals, pecan crunch, oat milk latte.
Ooh, all right.
Did you try the pumpkin spice?
I did.
Do you like it?
Okay.
Yes, not as much as the pecan. though.
Actually, that sounds too complex for me. I don't even know what that is.
So I guess it's my turn. So when it comes to coffee, I went through a bit of a phase where I had these Hawaiian coffee beans like Kona, and so I had a French press and like a coffee grinder. So I used to make that a lot. But in recent months, I've realized I don't really like coffee that much. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah,
so you
I
just tried
switched to tea, as a good Pakistani boy should. And so I've been really into like Tea India or like PG Tips. That's been really good. And I just do that with some milk and honey and hot water, and it's great. It's like kind of like it's basically the milk tea Alec loves to talk about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as I mentioned once, but I do love it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I
So-
should add to that. In India, tea is like big. They'll have like 6-7 cups of tea a day.
Milk tea was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yes,
over
they
there.
really like the tea.
Chai.
Indians
good.
love the tea. I
Yeah.
get
Oh,
that,
yeah.
just not a tea drinker. But anyways, moving on.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta.
You
know,
gotta have the real Cuban.
No,
toast.
yeah, literally, you gotta put the Cuban on this conversation because I'm telling you let us down a little too softly there, and I didn't like that. Because if you were just gonna say that you didn't like coffee, you could just set it off the top, and I wouldn't have to justify my rebound. That being said, yes, mocha all the way. White chocolate mocha, no questions asked. Iced white chocolate mocha. However, there's one thing I don't like about American coffees in like the stereotypical sense of the word. Is that when we like talk about American coffee, 9 times out of 10, it has more sugar and other things than coffee, especially the pumpkin spice one. Listen, I can't. Or like the peppermint. Was that one?
Yeah.
I can't. I'm sorry. So good old tried and true. I love sharing what we call colada, which is basically so it's like a larger cup of Cuban coffee. But the way you make Cuban coffee is you get black coffee, you put it in what we call cafetera, which I guess in English that's a mocha cup or a mocha serving cup thing. But instead of putting like creamer and sugar and things in that, you drip the coffee like bit by bit into a like a bowl of sugar effectively, and you beat the coffee with the sugar.
Wow.
And it makes what's called espuma, which is foam. And then you pour the rest of the coffee, and it has like the super foamy top. It is super strong because it's mostly sugar, not coffee, but like in the good sense. And yeah, it's a great conversation starter because you're supposed to share it. And if you drink it if you drink it by yourself, I'm concerned for you. But yeah.
So is this something that you made at home, or
I can make it for y'all's once if you want.
That sounds really good.
I actually like make it close to every other morning.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that sounds really nice.
It's so nice. It's
so
very
you drink
easy.
it on your own?
So, well, no. My
All that sugar.
roommate's Dominican, so
Oh.
like, you know, if
Okay.
I'm like, girl, if you want any, let me know. And if not, I'm taking it to the Latin American Studies department, and they will drink it in a second. Like,
So you make like a whole pot of it and all that?
well, I mean, it's like you can't make it just for yourself because
Yeah.
when I tell you a shot, I mean like a shot. Like, so you make like I probably say like 12 ounces of it. But that's for each that's for like 8 people more or less. So
It kind of sounds like Vietnamese coffee, just like in the way it drips.
Yeah.
it's similar.
Yeah.
It tastes similar.
And just like the amount of condensed milk
Yeah,
that
it
goes into it. Yeah.
it tastes similar, but it's served hot and it's a
Yeah.
lot stronger.
Okay.
We might need to swing back onto the coffee trade.
Oh yeah.
I'm in to try that.
Maybe he'll
anytime.
convert you back.
I know, yeah,
Maybe.
we gotta do some conversion here.
Yeah.
Probably. You're going to be responsible if people do convert after
Yeah.
drinking that.
When? Maybe you
I don't know.
convert.
Maybe it'll be like something that's why we invite people here, like kind of like a body snatcher
Oh.
situation.
That's a good idea.
Oh, and they will keep them coming back too.
Yeah.
Maybe not for the podcast, but for the coffee.
Oh yeah, true.
Well, it's a win-win either way.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah, we're gonna, listeners, if there is an uptick of people making this coffee in Harris or in New Chicago in general, you know it started here.
We're
And-
responsible for it, guys.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's all your fault, Alec. You started.
I will
New
gladly
Trend.
take responsibility.
That's the new performative male.
Okay, next question. What is your guilty pleasure podcast?
Ooh.
So I will answer with 2.
Mm-hmm.
The one I genuinely listen to is the It's Always Sunny in podcast with the cast members from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting show, I will say, especially if you like dark comedy. But you get to see that they're actual people and not unhinged. But a podcast I sleep to is I'll turn on Spotify, look up the TED Talks daily, and then I'll start from the top, and then I'll just fall asleep to like random information. It doesn't even matter like what kind of information it has. Like I'll just like lull myself to sleep with some kind of like, well, actually, you mentioned trajectory of the story.
You
So-
could do great mimicry.
Yeah, that's my bit.
Trying to think I think it's more about what I listen to get, like, to be able to sleep rather than what I listen
Oh my god.
during the day.
I hope this is not one of them.
Yes.
That's your
we
metric.
could try it.
I mean, if that's increasing engagement, though.
Oh, yeah, true.
No, but
Get those
seriously,
numbers
that
up.
is a growing genre of podcasts, like especially on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of episodes on philosophies to help you sleep, where it's all these different the philosophical history of this philosopher or this person's ideas, and it goes on for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It's really great.
To
Like, I
help
mean,
you sleep?
yeah, because like,
Like puts you to sleep?
if
Or-
you've had like 3-4 coffees in a day,
He's insomniac.
Just like a
Somewhat
podcast where they're
No,
just
but
reading the
is the
entire
podcast helping you sleep, or does it tell you how?
I
That
end
was
up
my
listening
question.
to most of the
Yeah.
podcasts, so it doesn't really help me
Okay.
sleep. So I end up learning more than I intended to,
Uh-huh.
and sleeping less than I should have.
Oh my god.
But are the techniques said in that helpful to make you sleep?
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, it's better than what I used to do. I used to watch really long art films. Again, I just got bored. I didn't fall asleep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah, podcasts work better because at least you're not looking at a screen. This is someone like slowly whispering, about how Spinoza had like really great ideas in I don't know what century and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think for me personally, it was actually very hard questions to answer because actually I listen to podcasts for very academic purposes.
Uh-huh.
So,
While trying to sleep.
yeah. I mean, I first listened to podcasts to help me like
Sleep?
sleep. Actually,
All sleep podcast listeners here.
So like I don't like currently I'm listening to a podcast called No Stupid Questions. So
Love the name.
like
it's
that.
by Angela Duckworth. She's a professor at Penn University. Like yeah, it's very good if you are interested in intersections between like behavioral science, ecology, economics. It's very good. But other than that, I also listen to like very political podcasts from Indonesia. So like, I mean, I know it's like very very like exciting to some like issues, but like as someone who is very far away from home, I think that's very good to remind you that something is also happening there. So like yeah.
I think just to add one thing about Indonesian podcasts, I'm Malaysian, but I do end up listening to a lot of Indonesian podcasts, which more often than not are in English,
Oh yeah.
which I find interesting.
Yeah.
And it's always about current affairs in Indonesia.
Yeah.
And it's very, there's very robust discussion, but I think it's a lot more academic sounding.
Exactly. Like the first Indonesian like film podcast I listened to was called Talking Indonesia, but I think if I'm not mistaken, it was hosted by one Australian university. So like it's very academic and it's mainly in English. So like yeah. But I think like more podcasts of Indonesia is made in English because they want to like engage on more like Gen Z Indonesians who also speak English and more comfortable listening like something in English. So like yeah, that might be the reason why. But like no, I'm not gonna talk about
What's up with
Indonesia. Yeah.
That was gonna be my follow-up question. Why do they make it so much in English? rather than-
Yeah, I feel like I don't like the Gen Z. I think that's only like one example. I don't know like how many podcasts you found, but like I think there's some sort of like increase in numbers of like podcast maker who happen to like pursue their educations abroad. So like
Okay.
yeah, I mean because I feel like like they're just like more comfortable making it in language. So like yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I'm gonna go 3 topics here because they're very different. Well, I first got into wrestling podcasts. That's how I started. So basically, every podcast and everyone in the book there, I've listened to or listened to pretty regularly.
Were you a sleep podcast listener?
Well, no, I am not a sleeper guy at all. Like, I gotta keep me up. And actually, it's very unfortunate because like a lot of these podcasts, they tend to be very funny, but now they're becoming a little like pretty emotional because. If you know one wrestler, you probably know who John Cena is.
Oh, I know him. I grew up with him.
The Never Seen 17.
Peacemaker.
There he is. Yeah, no, yeah. But yeah, he's retiring on December 13th. 23 years in the WWE. I started watching WWE back in 2008, 9ish. So I was like 6 years old maybe. This man has been my life, and it is damn heartbreaking to see him like not even 50 and he's already hanging up the jorts. So
No, I can imagine a lot of WWE fans must be
no,
heartbroken.
yeah, no. December 13th, I'm gonna be a waterworks. It's gonna be terrible. It was actually his last Monday Night Raw, his last weekly television show yesterday.
Oh no!
And again, just me being a bunch like waterworks, bro. Like giving Victoria Falls a run for its money. But what else? Other than that, obviously big politics. Shout out to iHip News. I've had it. is the podcast. It's Jenny and Pumps, two white country women from Oklahoma, mid-50s, but they speak like they're one of us. Just on point, nonstop, they just get it. It's so refreshing because it's like that is exactly the type of messaging we need right now in this time. I don't care what your political affiliation is. If that's not how you're presenting your evidence, something's going wrong. So yeah, and it's also just as funny as it is informative. And onto that note, Leisha Miller, that's a law podcast. It's called Why America. And again, just receipts, codes, like titles of the U.S. Code. We have Supreme Court cases, international court cases. You have it, congressional bureaucracy procedures, everything on the line, and it's just so condensed into 25 minutes that a fifth grader can understand it.
That sounds really fun.
It's so great because outside of areas where I'm already pretty in tune, so in the political federal government sense, it's a great opportunity for me to broaden my horizons in I don't know, tax law. What a great topic. And then last but not least, for all my U.S. high schoolers out there who did advanced placement, AP, not analytical politics, different AP. There was AP Art History. There was a podcast called Smart History, and it's Beth Harris and I believe Ben Zucker, and they're just two PhDs in art history, and they talk about almost very soothingly, almost therapeutically talk about artworks from the 1300s. I have a strange passion now for illuminated manuscripts because of how in-depth their conversations are, and the best outro and intro of any podcast, point blank.
Cool.
I'm just gonna say you're one step away from a sleep podcast. and someone reading you tax laws and tax code.
And that keeps me up. That's why I went to undergrad here. I love this university like that because it's the only place.
Tax law keeps you up?
Not the tax law, but the other law and art history. Yes, absolutely. Actually, I went to Italy and Greece, over the summer. And while people go there to party and club and whatever and drink and have food and whatnot, I went church hopping.
Oh.
Yeah, a church in era. I know, very nerdy.
No, it must have been cool.
Oh, it was
Very
super cool.
architectural.
I loved it.
What was the best church?
So there's a church called Il Gesù. It's in Rome. It is Baroque, fresh out of the Counter Reformation. I went to a Jesuit high school and a Jesuit middle school, same school. So that was the first church built by the Jesuits. And it's connected to the, for lack of a better word, monastery where St. Ignatius, practiced, faith doctrine and canon law throughout the Baroque age. And it has the most beautiful ceiling. It's called Triumph in the Name of Jesus. It literally looks like there's stucco works, and there's stucco works jutting out of the ceiling towards you, while there's a fresco in the background. And it literally looks like the ceiling opens up to the sky. It is so pretty. Highly recommend, and the best part is it's free.
Amazing.
Oh, wow.
So yes.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine the architecture you must have seen. Must have been really cool.
Yeah, I mean, as a Catholic, that was oh my God. I told my mom and dad, you guys got to come in.
Cool. Yeah, for me, when it comes to podcasts, there's the lowbrow and the highbrow. So highbrow would be more Pod Save America, the NPR, politics up first. I listen to a lot of Hassan Piker. I know that's more YouTube and Twitch, but still. And, Daily, all those, the typical ones to get your news and all of that. But when it comes to fun podcast, I'm really into a podcast called Dungeons and Daddies. Not a BDSM podcast, a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. And it is the funniest thing I've listened to in my life. And I hope this somehow spreads to them, so that they will give me a shout out on their podcast. I really love you, Whale Campos. Please give me a shout out. Anthony, you're cool too, but and the other ones, I know Freddie Wong's there, but this is just a thing. I'm sorry about the other two. But let's move on to Eunice.
I don't really listen to podcasts. wait. But there is a criminal one on podcast I thought was pretty interesting.
Oh.
You could have said UC3P.
Oh, yes. Yo! Wait, sorry. Can I change my answer?
Yes, of course.
UC3P.
What's your favorite
Booyah.
part?
This intro right now.
Oh.
Good answer.
Good save.
Love that.
Oh.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's amazing. My favorite podcast is Acquired. It's about these businesses which get acquired, and these two guys whose name I can't remember right now, but they're really cool. They talk about how these acquisitions happened and how the history. So they went, an episode was about Walmart and about Target, and it's really cool. You guys should listen to it if you haven't.
Yeah.
But so, okay, I want you guys to answer this question in one sentence so we can end on a heavy, fun topic. How do you think UC3P is going to make policy more accessible? And it has to be a one-line answer, guys.
I think I would start
Yes.
by becoming a bridge. I think that would be really make policy conversation accessible. Yeah, building bridge instead of walls, guys.
Advertising that we're an open space, I feel, is going to be the priority for not just UC3P, but for everyone wanting to get their voice heard. So.
I think just by being easy to understand and talk to.
I would say that this table strives to, I guess, help reveal why people think what they think.
By allowing ourselves to be very strange.
Creating a safe and open space for everyone's voice to be heard.
Love that. Love all these answers. And yeah, I agree. By creating a safe space, I think that's the way we'll make policy more accessible. So I hope you all had fun today and had fun recording this intro segment, guys.
Oh my God. Did
Yeah,
you have fun?
I had fun. I loved
I
hosting
think that was
this.
amazing. I think you're our leader now.
Aw.
I'm sorry, Lutfi.
And Ben.
Oh.
Oh.
No, guys, no.
Hail the queen.
Wait for spring, and then you kick us out.
All right.
We
All right.
will not be kicking you out. We love you
All right.
guys.
Thank you.
So I hope all of our listeners had a good time. We really had fun recording this episode, and I hope that the excitement we had translated a little bit at least through your phones or wherever you're listening to this podcast. As for upcoming content, we do have a few things in the pipeline. We have a few collaborations coming up, so please keep your eyes out for those. And depending on how this podcast gets its engagement, we might come together again and do another board recording session. Depends on how you guys like it, though. So please, subscribe, give us all your support. We also have a suggestions form, so any of our listeners who want to listen to a specific topic or want us to talk about a specific topic, or you yourselves want to come and discuss a specific topic, we're all open for that. The suggestion form won't take more than 5 minutes, so please fill it. You can find the link in the description of this podcast as well as on our website. Our website is www.uc3p.org, and we're also on X, so be sure to follow us there. Thank you so much.